Shalom, all praises to Yahweh, Bahashem Yahushai, Bahashem Kodesh. Double honors unto the apostles and elders of GMS, who are the true leaders of Israel today, and salutations to all the Akim who do this work in truth and sincerity, who are risking their lives and their freedoms to do so, as well as the scattered Israelites who come looking like the heathen but are not, by way of their forefathers' seeds, who are Israelite men. The true name of the Most High is Yahweh, and his son's name is Yahushai, and the Lord's holy chosen people are the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, as were the ones who suffer under the curses in the book of Deuteronomy. My name is Yakale, and I'm from the GMS Jamaica Kingston camp, and this video is about prophecy. Alright, biblical prophecy, end time prophecies, end game prophecies, and we are in fact at the end of days, the end of the rulership of the so-called white man, who are the biblical Edomites. Alright, we have some major prophecies that we're looking towards right now: the Mark of the Beast prophecy, World War III prophecy, and the destruction of America, which is Mystery Babylon the Great, spoken about in Revelation chapter 17, that prophecy. And when that prophecy is occurring of the destruction of America, that is also when Yahushua will return to deliver the elect of the nation of Israel. All right, and right now, as it says in the book of Habakkuk, chapter 2, and verse 3, it says, "For the vision is yet for an appointed time, but at the end it shall speak and not lie. Though it tarry, wait for it, because it will surely come, it will not tarry." And that is in regards to all of these prophecies. All right, and of course there are other prophecies to come besides these major ones that we're looking at. Well, actually all of the prophecies are major, but there are certain, I'd say, keystone prophecies that we look towards, all right? Especially that Mark of the Beast prophecy, which is a market chip. Okay, we know that the famine of the word is coming. We know that the persecution of the prophets is coming. We know that we're going to be in Jacob's trouble in that time. During that Mark of the Beast prophecy, when it is being fulfilled, the famine, the pestilence, the judgments from Yahweh Shemishai, we have all kinds of things to come. All right, the prophets will be getting spiritual powers in order to survive the days that are coming. Some prophets will be beheaded, you know, many things are to come. And the thing is that all of these things are going to be coming in succession, right? These prophecies will be happening in a very quick manner once it is that Yahweh Shemishai has fully awakened the elect. And who's to say? Right now, the elect could be awakened. All of the elect members could be awakened right now. And that's why we're seeing such major things happening. Okay? Because, you know, in the book of Revelation chapter 7 and verse 1, it says, "And after these things I saw 4 angels standing on the 4 corners of the earth, holding the 4 winds of the earth, that the wind should not blow on the earth, nor on the sea, nor on any tree. And I saw another angel ascending from the east, having the seal of the living power, and he cried with a loud voice to the 4 angels to whom it was given to hurt the earth and the sea, saying, Hurt not the earth, neither the sea, nor the trees, till we have sealed the servants of our power in their foreheads. And I heard the number of them which were sealed, and there were sealed 144,000 of all the tribes of the children of Israel." And then it talks about 12,000 from each tribe. Okay, so, you know, we could very well be in that period right now, because when you look at what's going on in regards to all of these prophecies and how they're being built up, things appear to be very, very, very close. So we have this situation over there in the so-called Middle East, which that's a part of biblical prophecy. Okay, in the book of Joel chapter 2 and verse 20, it says that, you know, actually, I'm going to have to get it. You know, I'm going to have to bring it out. Right? Because right here, we have Iran warns Israel, and we have a few articles, all from mainstream media sources, Esau Edom's mainstream media sources. It's not from alternative sources or certain websites that are, you know, a little underground. This is what they are currently pushing. Okay, Iran warns Israel through United Nations against ground offensive in Gaza. Iran warns Israel of regional escalation if aggressions do not stop. Iran threatens Israel over looming ground offensive in Gaza. Iran's foreign minister warns Israel from Beirut to stop at Gaza attacks or risk huge earthquake. That one's interesting. That topic's interesting. Why would it be a huge earthquake? But you do know that in 2nd Ezra chapter 9 and verse 1, it talks about that earthquakes are a sign of the end, uproars of the people. And these are things that we've been seeing for years. All right. And Afghanistan has been recently hit in succession by, I believe, earthquakes of 6.3 magnitudes. Yeah. And other places as well have been hit by large earthquakes. Routers do not get involved in Israel crisis, top U.S. general warns Iran. So you have Iran threatening Israel. Then you have the United States of America telling Iran to not get involved in the situation with Israel. And this is all biblical prophecy. All right, the way that these major players are coming out and they're defending certain countries, because the US and NATO are a guard onto Israel. All right, the state of Israel, right? And then you have Iran that is allied with Russia. And in Ezekiel chapter 38, it talks about that Gog and Magog, the chief prince of Meshech and Tubal, right? When it starts at 38 and verse 2 of Ezekiel, it goes down and it mentions that hooks will be put in their jaws and that they will go out, all their army, horses and horsemen, and that they will have a great company with them. And they mention Persia. And the Persians today are known as the Iranians, who are the biblical Elamites. All right. And it says in Ezekiel 38 that thou shalt be a guard unto them. So Russia is a guard unto them. And then Russia is also allied with China. Right. So you have, I mean, the prophecy is speaking extremely loudly. It says Biden issues warning to longtime Hamas ally. Iran reiterates support for Israel and Netanyahu. And you see, America is going to be doing this because of biblical prophecy. Biblical prophecy states that the least of the flock shall draw them out, and that they shall make their habitation desolate with them. So the state of Israel will be doing things that will force America to run to her defense. And we know in Joel chapter 2 that they lose, right? And in that same precept where it talks about the least of the flock shall draw them out, it says it shall make their habitation desolate with them, right? So Joel 2 and verse 20, but I will remove far off from you the northern army, talking about the US and NATO, and will drive him into a land barren and desolate, which is talking about Saudi Arabia. If you go to Google Maps, you look at Saudi Arabia, all right? Keep that in mind, with his face toward the East Sea, which is the Euphrates River, and his hinder part toward the utmost sea, which is the Red Sea, and his stink shall come up, and his ill savor shall come up, because he hath done great things. So when you look at Google Maps, you'll see where the Euphrates River, and you'll see where the Red Sea is, and you'll see right in the middle of that is that land barren and desolate, which is that Saudi Arabia. And that is where World War III, the War of Armageddon, is going to be taking place. All right. So US and NATO, Israel, Iran, Russia, Iran warns Israel against its Iran warns Israel against its apocalyptic war. That's what the War of Armageddon is in Revelation chapter 16, verse 16. So here it is right here. NATO backs Israel and warns Iran to stay away. So there it is. NATO backs Israel. NATO is a part of that northern army with the United States. Biblical prophecy. All right. So when it all happens, this is how each side will be allied and each side against each other. All right. So all of this is simply just building up, towards the manifestation of the World War III prophecy in Revelation chapter 11 and verse 14. But first, before the destruction can come, the mark of the beast prophecy, which is a microchip, has to be fulfilled. So now we're seeing these tensions escalate. And if you look back at the situation, first of all, look back at the situation that occurred in 2020, that worldwide situation. It had several economic ramifications. It pushed the idea of a cashless system and a cashless society. And with that, We saw the development of central bank digital currencies, mobile payments, all of these kinds of things, right? So this is happening on that end, but there's another part that's happening not sneakily if you're actually paying attention, but it's kind of happening sneakily because it's not like what's on Esau Edom's mainstream media. And the majority of the people in this world, they only consume themselves with what they can see from these sources. But the central bank digital currencies are being developed. But the economic ramifications that have happened from that 2020 situation, and then after that you had the Ukraine war situation that has seriously affected the economy. And there's a very high level of inflation that's going on and all of these things, right? So now this situation that's happening right here, Reuters has reported that global markets brace for fallout as Middle East tensions rise. And it says the Israeli-Hamas war has sharpened focus on rising geopolitical risk for financial markets as investors wait to see if the conflict draws in other countries with the potential to drive up oil prices further and deal a fresh blow to the world economy, which is already suffering, right? Everyone around the world is feeling this. They can report certain numbers regarding the inflation, but from what people are experiencing, it's actually much worse than what they're reporting, right? But they don't want people to panic as yet because they're still getting things in place in order to push their microchip, which when you do your research on the microchip and the systems behind it, the NFC technology, the RFID technology, the digital identification systems, and the central bank digital currencies, you will be able to see that all of these systems really are placed at a very high percentage. I can't quote a percentage, but I mean, just off of the top of my head, speaking like a man, I feel like it's probably like 80% there or even higher, to be quite honest. So all these systems are being placed and they're further dealing blows to the economy. And in the book of Genesis, it says that the money failed in Egypt, right? And America is known as the modern day Egypt, modern day Sodom and Gomorrah, spiritually Egypt, as it talks about in the book of Revelation. So the money crashed then in ancient Egypt, and the money is going to crash again in today's Egypt and today's world, right? The current monetary system, which is by the dollar bill, the cash. And so they're going to crash it. And that's what we're seeing right here, the ramifications of such things happening. And then they're going to have their new convenient monetary system, which involves these central bank digital currencies, which is a digital way to pay, which will be merged to the microchip. And as such, you will have the prophecy spoken about in Revelation chapter 13 and verse 17, where it says, and that no man might buy or sell save he that's had the mark of the name of the beast or the number of his name, right? So every single thing is in the works, everything. And it's very beautiful to see. There's a scripture that says, for many prophets, let me see if it will come up. Here it is, Luke chapter 10 and verse 24, for I tell you that the words of Yahushua, for I tell you that many prophets and kings have desired to see those things which ye see and have not seen them, and to hear those things which ye hear and have not heard them, right? Because things are happening today. These prophecies that were known before at a certain level, right, are being seen today, like what John saw in the book of Revelation, right? John saw the mark of the beast prophecy, and although he didn't quite understand or couldn't put it into modern day words, he saw what was happening at that time. But the prophets are back again, and John could be here still, or he could be in the heavens, however the Lord set it up. He could be seeing it again. But the prophets that are all here, I'm doing this work, so one would say that I am a prophet. As I do believe that I am a prophet of Yahweh Shemishai. I'm seeing these things, and the brothers as well. I believe the brothers are prophets as well. We all see these things, and it's a very beautiful thing for us to see, because we know that we're close to Yahushua delivering the elect of Israel, which means that when that happens, the kingdom of Yasharallah is automatically established from there and will be in our righteous forms and we will no longer be in this flesh, and we will live as kings and gods, as the kings and gods that we are. We will be at our righteous state. So yeah, man, this is just what's going on, and just keep an eye out and keep calm, but keep on observing. All right. With that, I like to say all praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh Shem Yeshai Bashram Kakodesh, Wa Abad Babal, Shalom.